Thank you, Andrew. Hi, everybody, and great that I'm able to present here. I work at Center Data. We're a nonprofit institute at Tilburg University, and from the core activities, we also manage the list panel from the survey research department. And the list panel is an online longitudinal household panel consisting of 7,500 panel members, and we are operational since 2007. Panel members fill out surveys each month, and they get an incentive of €2.50 for a survey of 10 minutes, so that translates to €15 an hour. We try to be as representative as possible for the Netherlands. We're probability-based, get our samples from Statistics Netherlands. We have a high response rate between 70 to 80% and a low attrition of 10%. And we do a biannual refreshment samples of push-to-web and face-to-face. Some additional unique features. We have a very helpful panel management department. All data that we collect, we make available in the list data archive, and all data collected can be merged with microdata. So the research we do in the panel mainly consists of first, and this is something that Marcel already touched upon yesterday in the panel discussion, the list core study. We fielded to the whole panel, 16 years and older. All other data collected can be merged to this data. Second, other researchers can also collect new data if they bring their own budget. Can be cross-sectional, can be longitudinal, or some other experiment. And third, we also do a lot of innovative and sensory projects. For instance, using apps, photos in surveys, accelerometers, data donation, thanks to the GDPR, chatbots, data challenges and benchmarks, speech projects, weighing scales, and last but not least, O3. And that's what I'm going to focus in for the rest of the presentation. Now, O3 is a Python-based open source software tool that lets you play multiplayer strategy games, prisoners' dilemmas, public goods games, coalition games, all in all interactive behavioral experiments. You can either do this in a controlled lab setting or utilize online crowdsourcing platforms like mTurk or Prolific. There are pros and cons. In a lab setting, you have your student samples and you have low scaling, but higher control. And on the other hand, when you use mTurk or Prolific, also convenience sampling most of the time, you have much higher scaling, higher group, of course, but you have less control of who your respondents are. Both not perfect, and that's why we started the OBELISK project, which stands for Online Behavioral Experiments in the list panel. And we try to offer the best of both worlds because we have the probability sample, we know who the respondents are, so you have high scaling and also high control of your experimental groups. So this is the goal, building an infrastructure, facilitating this. We have a lot of partners and funders and quite a big team working on these experiments. So the advantages of OBELISK is that we can use probability samples. You can use large groups to run experiments. The experimental data can be enriched with all the list data, all the list survey data, and also the microdata from Statistics Netherlands. And the panel data can also be used as part of your experimental designs. And all in all, it's also possible to organize longitudinal experiments. Now I want to show you an example of a coalition game we fielded about a year ago. We did this for Evo Venedex, which is an international supply chain organization. And they aim to have horizontal collaboration between businesses, especially businesses moving stuff from A to B. And they aim to have CO2 reduction, less traffic, share personnel and transport. And therefore, they started the Compose project, which is a platform for matching businesses based on their profiles. You can compare it like more or less a Tinder for companies. But there was one problem. There were not enough businesses who were registering. So they asked us to run O3 experiments studying the drivers for coalition behavior, so they could better the platform. There's already a publication available here if you are interested in this. So what we do in practice, we formed 200 groups of 3 respondents, and in each group of 3, one panel member represented a bigger company A, the other one a medium-sized company B, and a smaller-sized company C. And we told them, you're gonna have to drive your stuff from Amsterdam to France. But there's also a bigger truck available. But this bigger truck can only go on the road when there's at least 5 tons in the truck. So they have to form a coalition. And there's also a 9,000 euro bonus to divide. So in phase 1, we ask the group of 3 to do a proposal. How do they want to divide the bonus, and with whom do they want to form a coalition? And phase 2, they see each other's proposals, and they can either accept or reject. When it's accepted, then a coalition is formed, and when it's rejected, we have 20 iterations, just as long playing, as long as there's a coalition successfully formed. And so this was able to study what drives people to form coalitions or not. Now, if you look at the response overview of this experiment, out of the 4,800 panel members we invited, 63% responded to the invitation. 43% of that percentage agreed to take part in the experiment. 82% of that actually visited the game. We invited them and say, come online on Monday, 8 o'clock, and then there's a link available for you, and you have to click it. Some people come late, some people are early. Well, and that's of course, you have some dropout there. In the end, 50% of the 82% actually completed the experiment. So you can see it's about the gross 4,800 we invited. It's 11% that actually finished the game. We're not used to 11%. In surveys, it's between 70 and 80%. But we also know it's new stuff we're doing here. And when we do follow-up studies, we know people get used to it, and the percentage will go up. There's a lot of manual labor in here, but look at the response composition. This is quite interesting. If you look at age and education, in blue, that's the list panel composition. In orange is a typical survey in the list panel. And if you look at O3, it's not that bad compared to a typical survey. So the distribution is quite okay. That's promising. We wanted to better this whole infrastructure, so we also built a virtual waiting room in Obelisk. What does that mean? This means that we can route respondents from the LIS portal, where they see the surveys available to the O3 environment and back. We can group them automatically. We can handle dropout gracefully. And we can also securely transfer respondent data back and forth. All in all, host O3 experiments in a very robust way. On the right side, you see the architecture. I'm not going in that for now, but if you're interested, there's more information available. So what's the current status of this? This facility is fully developed. On the right side, you see some screenshots of the portal from a panel member. Instead of when they click an available study, instead of they start the survey, they take place in the virtual waiting room. They see what the incentive is going to be and how many others are already waiting there. And whenever there are enough people for the experiment, they get automatically grouped together and sent to the O3 environment, and they can start playing the game. Once they're done, they are sent back to their personal portal environment. We stress tested this with bots, and all the data is, this is all open source, of course, so if you're interested, everything's available on GitHub, O3, but also the code for the Obelisk waiting room, so feel free to have a look and play around with it. So what's next? Later this year, June, July, we're gonna field a public goods game. with at least 1,200 panel members playing the public goods game all at once for this stress testing the infrastructure, but also see if everything works as we intend that it should work. Last but not least, everything we collect is available in the archive. Feel free to use everything for your own research. Thank you.